Welcome to the Rugby League Outsiders prediction video. It's the first prediction video of 2025, and this is the only prediction video on the internet that counts, in our opinion. My name's Craig.
My name's Karl. And Super League's back. Yes! It seems like it's been a long off-season, doesn't it? And all the indications point to one of the most exciting Super Leagues we've ever had.
Right, Karl, loads of interesting stuff going on already. We was at the Super League launch last week. If you haven't watched that video yet, then check it out. We'll stick a link somewhere. You'll be able to find it. And Karl, what? Talk to me a little bit about the launch and what you feel about the season right now.
I feel like the RFL Super League are really putting the stars of the game to the forefront now. We've often spoken about teams, haven't we? But now it feels like the stars of the game, your Mikey Lewis's, your Bevan French, your Junior Ensembers, they're making these big stars, and it's exciting, and I hope people are going to get behind Super League this year because it promises to be a great season.
Okay, well, as we prepare to get into the season, then a couple of things that stay the same. The Sky is showing every game, or every game is going to be televised. We've got Thursday evening games, we've got multiple games on Fridays, same on Saturdays, some Sunday games. So a plethora, I don't think I'd ever use that word, of rugby league, heading into this season.
Yeah, I think it's really good what they've done. They've spread the games out more, haven't they, this year? So whereas before we'd end up with sometimes 3 games on a Friday, and you couldn't watch them all, could you? But this year, well, we ain't going to be moving for 4 days because it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Super League is on TV. So, yeah, can't wait.
And, of course, we've got the Vegas match, which we are working incredibly hard to get a representative out there.
A representative?
Yeah, a representative.
Well, we know how much you love America, so...
Yeah, if you haven't watched our shirt review video of the Wigan Vegas shirt, then you'll understand. I won't be going to America, but Karl, you're really keen to get out there, and we're working really hard to make it happen.
Hopefully. Let's see. But hopefully an announcement in the next couple of days. We'll see.
Right, let's get into it. So, Super League last year it kicked off with the Hull derby, didn't it? Massive, massive crowd. Brilliant game, although frustrating because of the yellow card situation and all that. This year, we're kicking off with the Battle of the Borough, Wigan versus Leigh. This is going to be an absolute belter.
Heading for a sellout. As we knew it would, they've thrown a load of money behind bands and entertainment and all the rest of it. So, yeah, what a great way to kick off the season. However, I don't think the action on the pitch is going to quite match the occasion.
Well, that's interesting. So, obviously, you can't be in the hands of Wigan. You can't think that Wigan are going to kind of underplay. So, I can only surmise then that you think Leigh are going to struggle.
No, well, if you look at the Leigh side this year, although they've brought some players in, David Armstrong from Newcastle Knights, he looks a really exciting prospect. Can't wait to watch him play. However, they've lost a lot of the spine of that side of Leigh this year. A lot of experience has gone. You got Moylan's retired, Asiata's gone to FC, Hardaker's gone, Kai O'Donnell's gone. There's a lot of players that made up a big section of that Leigh team that's gone. And I don't think they may gel later on in the season, but early on, first game against Wigan, I think it's going to be an uphill battle, wise.
Okay, well, I kind of agree. I think this is going to be an exciting game because it's the first game. And I think it's going to be relatively close as both teams kind of find the feet, and then Wigan then kick on for later in the season. But I have got this as a Wigan win.
Yeah, I agree. I've got it as a Wigan win. Wigan are a settled side. There's not really been many players going in and out. The players are all signed up to big contracts. The only thing I possibly think with Wigan is the one eye on Vegas at the minute. Are they quite ready for this opening of the season? So that may be the little banana skin in there, but I expect Wigan to get the job done by at least 16 points.
Okay, so 8 o'clock on the Thursday night. Make sure you check that out. We will be sort of sat watching that. We'll be live on our socials, not sending out videos, but we'll answering comments and questions and engaging people on our Twitter during that game. So, not Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
X as they call it nowadays, if you want to be like an absolute balloon. Anyway, so if you're watching that game, please tag us in your comments and questions, and we'll have a little bit of a chat along as the games move along. Right, okay, so talking about moving on, let's move on to the Friday night, the first of two games, both scheduled for 8 o'clock. We have got the Catalan Dragons, perhaps a little bit underwhelming this weekend, and Hull FC had a shocking season last year, Karl.
Hull FC, you've got to think are going to improve. However, I haven't seen loads from their from who they've signed to suggest that they're going to have a huge jump up that table. And speaking to FC fans, I think if they finish 7th or 8th, I think quite a lot of FC fans would be quite happy with that. Catalan, on the other hand, you would expect a lot more from Catalan than what we got last year. And my early indications of the signings that they brought in is that, yeah, we're going to see a much better Catalan Dragons side. As, you know, people like Luke Carey coming in, Whitehead's back. And then I watched the game against Halifax, and they just didn't look at the races at all.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this later on in the when we chat to the sniper. Yeah, I completely agree with everything you're saying there. Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying there, Karl. And I think it's going to be a tough call for Hull FC going out to Perpignan, having all that travel and all that kind of stuff, plus the unsettle in their club that they've had. Pitching Aidan Caesar as the captain and like the saviour of this team. Let's see how it goes. And hopefully, I'm really hoping that Catalan are going to significantly improve from that game at the weekend. You know, the stars, like you say, they've got in there Luke Carey, Elliot Whitehead, you know what I mean, mouth-watering potential, you know, selections there. So they need to be kicking on. And for me, for Catalan to be staking their claim in the Super League this year, they've got to be winning this game by 20 points, in my opinion. So I've got Catalan down for a win, and I'm hoping it's by more than 20 points. If it's not, indications that Catalan are struggling this year.
Do you think? Ooh, controversial. Right, so Hull FC then. Like I said, they've brought in a bit of a spine from Leigh to try and sort of almost steady the side with a couple of big name signings. Rapana, you know, electric NRL player. We spoke about him in the off season with the sniper. We met him at the Super League launch. The guy's very tall.
He's incredibly tall. He was completely shocked me how tall this guy was.
Yeah, he looks lean. He looks like he's just built for speed. So if I'm a Hull FC fan, I'm looking forward to watching him play. I'm also hoping that he don't get injured because the squad doesn't look like it has too much depth. I'm with you, though. South of France, first game of the season. Catalan cannot be as bad as they were against Halifax. I'm going for a Catalan win. I'm going for a 16-point win again. Same as in the first game.
Bit of a pattern emerging here then. Okay, moving on then. We've got potential title chasers Hull KR versus Castleford. Again, another club that struggled in the Challenge Cup this weekend.
Yeah, the big time struggled. And Castleford fans were blowing up on social media this weekend, especially after that first 40 minutes where they kind of almost looked like they didn't want to be there for the first 20 minutes. I mean, yeah, they got steamrolled up the middle. They got bullied by the Bradford pack, and they got outplayed out wide. So worrying if you're a Castleford fan. I know it was only the first game of the season. I know the NRL boys are going to take a while to gel. I think we spoke to Dan Maguire. He told us exactly the same. He expects them to take a while to gel. They didn't like the boggy Odsal pitch. Well, they haven't played at Cass yet. So I think, yeah, I expect them to be a lot better than they were in that game, obviously. However, Hull KR, we looked at Hull KR's side against York, didn't we, at the weekend? It was like, that is a star-studded side now.
Yeah, and York were no slouches. They put in a great performance, but Hull KR just picked them apart in every aspect of the game. And not only that, but what I found interesting was there was a period where they seemed to switch off a little bit, and York started to get a little bit of momentum going. They went into the sheds. Willie Peters ripped the paint off the freaking walls, in an obvious bollock and not happy at all. And they came out, put all those changes into play, and and the point I'm making, they were incredibly responsive to what the coach had obviously said. He'd obviously brought them back to a game plan. They executed that game plan and they were brilliant, right? And I know there were lots of exciting stuff about, they kept Jared Warrior Hargreaves quiet.
He got smashed, actually.
Yeah, he did, but by 3 players at a time. York were just very good at ganging up on him.
Yeah.
And if they hadn't have done that, he would have just walked through . So kudos to York, but they didn't. He didn't have a crap game, you know what I mean? He's not struggling in the UK in the Super League. They just dealt with him well, but that created opportunities in other parts of the pitch.
I tell you who played well, and I think he's going to have a massive season. Reece Martin. I thought he played really well, and if they get service to him this year, he could be that missing link that Hull KR didn't quite have enough for last year when they were going up against your Wigans. I think he's going to have a big season this year.
Well, I nearly turned up today with a black armband on because I am so sad that he's left Leeds.
I wonder where you're going.
I'm struggling to acknowledge that he's gone, and I'm struggling to acknowledge that he's gone to Hull KR. And he was like a big chunk of cement in the Leeds team of the last few years.
Yes, he was.
He was the one player that you could truly, you could truly believe in, was going to put his heart and soul into every game, and his kicking has been sublime. And for him to be performing and doing that at another club hurts. It cuts deep, Karl.
Straight away.
So don't just tread delicately.
Straight away as well. Straight in there. It just looked like he'd been playing in that Hull KR team for years, and it was a perfect fit, and he really could catapult Hull KR this year.
Yeah, and what about the McAlorum-Jez Litton combination then? What was your take on that? Well, they started with McAlorum.
They started with McAlorum, didn't they?
He had a fight with him.
Yeah, there's right. I'm just going to mention that actually. There's it was on. I was watching it on Sportsman. There's a fighting back play, and I went, right, is it McAlorum or Hargreaves? Which one of them is it? And it was like, it's McAlorum. He's getting his shirt ripped off him. No, it surprised me that they started with McAlorum actually. But he played really well. I think that combination, it just gives Hull KR so many options of how they want to play the game.
Well, do you know what it does for me? Like you look at Jez Litton and you think, right, class, so fast out of the blocks and all that.
Yep.
But if you're in opposition, you're looking at him going, right, bully him. He's not particularly big, all right, he's fast, but if you can hit him hard, he's got to be a target for those markers. Right, you put McAlorum there, like no one's bullying him. Do you know what I mean? You can get in, you can, tangle horns and lock horns is what I'm trying to say with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can try and rile him up and all that kind of stuff, but you ain't bullying him. And for him to start with McAlorum, it just instantly, right, okay, we'll look for other areas of the pitch because we haven't got a little soft underbelly around the play of the ball. Yeah, and then Jez Litton comes on later on, injects his pace, and it just seems like a great combination.
Hargreaves and McAlorum are going to give that Hull KR side,
if they stay on the pitch, another hard, gritty,
backbone that Hull KR not quite had before. That with people like Reece Martin that they brought in, they're going to be such a side to beat. And
Minchella, based on his performance last year as well, class act. All right, so we've both obviously got Hull KR win then.
Yeah.
Are you by 16 points perhaps?
Yeah, why not?
On Saturday then, the first 2 games kicking off at 3:00. You've got Leeds Rhinos versus Super League's new boys, Wakefield.
And Wakefield, all the indications, I know you don't take pre-season, but by, you take it with a pinch of salt, don't you? However, Wakefield looked bloody good in pre-season. They finished the championship strong.
Recruited well.
Yeah, and this is going to be hard for Leeds. This is going to be really... I'm interested to see who you're going to go with on this one, because I think this one could be the one that splits us.
No, I don't think this is going to be the one that splits us. I'll tell you now, Leeds are going to win this, right? They're going to win, and they're going to win by 10 points, in my opinion. However, because I think Leeds have dramatically improved based on, their pre-season games. And I think although Wakey are going to do well, it's going to be relative to Wakey. So they're new into Super League. I don't think they're going to be in those bottom three come the end of the year, but I still don't think they're going to be kind of like high mid to high in the table. So I think this is a sort of comfortable win for Leeds.
I disagree.
I thought you might.
I think Leeds are going to win, but I think it's going to be by the narrowest of margins. I think Wakey are going to come out absolutely firing. I think they've got some great players here that they've built on. They've got some real exciting talent. Josh Rourke and Max Jowett they can choose from at full-back. They've tries all over the field there. It's exciting. Tom Johnston's is back in his rightful home. It's going to be a good one, this. Who are you looking forward to watching from Leeds? I know Sevo's injured now, so...
Well, I was never really looking forward to watching Sevo play.
I forgot you say about it.
I was never... I mean, the sniper sort of changed my mind on him, but he didn't even get through like the first game without like a serious injury. He's going to be out all year, So, yeah, I'm not really excited too much about watching him. I'm looking forward to seeing Ryan Hall. That moment when he steps out in Super League at Headingley, for the first time coming back, it's going to be a huge occasion. It's an occasion that the whole team can get behind. And this is why I think they're going to put in a strong performance, because they've got lots to play for. Not only is it the first game of the season at home, they've got Ryan Hall stepping out as well, in his what's probably going to be his twilight season, and lots and lots to play for. So I'm also... No, I think the biggest player I'm looking forward to watch is Jake O'Connor, because, do
you think he'll be in the halves with my mate Brodie?
Yeah, because I think in the absence of Lockie Miller, I think he's going to be in the full-back position.
Right.
So yeah, that's who I'm looking forward to, Jake Connor, because he's been the pantomime villain for seasons, have passed. But I think Brad Arthur's got a grip of this bloke. He's stripped some weight off him. He's in his own, he's admitting himself that he's playing his best rugby in his best shape. So,
Mate, how intimidating is Brad Arthur?
Well, he don't freaking smile, does he?
He just...
Yeah, he's just like no emotion.
Brian McDermott style, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just like,
that's what he reminded me of.
Yeah.
But I think that'll work well for Leeds. So you're going Leeds, I'm going Leeds. I'm going Leeds only by 6 points. What do you think?
Yeah, Leeds by 10 points.
By 10.
So
you said Leeds were going to win easy early.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be a high try scoring game, but I think the momentum's going to be with Leeds, the majority of the game. So by 10 points. I don't think it's going to be a landslide.
I won't be surprised if there's a shock on the cards.
Right, okay. Right, moving on. So this is a bit of a potential banana skin for both teams. The second game on Saturday is Saints versus Salford, kicking off at 17:30. What's your take on this?
Yeah, it's an exciting one, this, isn't it? Because
it's hard to call this.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know what we're going to get with Saints. I mean, all indications are they've recruited very well, brought in some top players. Salford, on the other hand, have been going through all this adversity, and we didn't even know if they were going to make the field. That's all been sorted out now. Sure, the players can breathe with sigh of relief. And sometimes with Salford, this is when you get the sort of the best performances with Salford, don't you? When they don't really know what's going on with the club, or people underrate them. Tough one to call this.
It is, and the issue is, it's because we're in the dark. Right, because we're in the dark, we don't know how Saints are going to perform. Right, you look at their team sheet, stars everywhere.
Yeah, right? Tristan Saylor coming in, Kyle Felt coming, two proven NRL players. So add them into a Saints team that's back to be match fixed. Obviously, they lost loads of players last year. Makes for an interesting game, this does.
Plus the Breers factor, what effect is he going to have on there? Now, flip across to Salford. You look at their team sheet, right? They put out a team sheet for one of the pre-season games, or one of the Challenge Cup games. That is a star-studded team as well. You're looking at that, you're like, I can't see any weak points in that team. So, in the absence of any knowledge or current form, who do you choose? It's a tough one.
You say that, however, they played Midlands Hurricanes this weekend, and at half time, what was the score? Like 12-10? Nothing in it. I know they sort of ran away with it a little bit in the second half, but that's a top 5 Super League side going up against a mid-table League One side, and for 40 minutes there was nothing in it. So there's some slight worrying signs there if you're a Salford fan.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we know that things are faster in Super League, right? It can be just as aggressive. You can just you can have as much impact and like when you look at strength and stuff like that. And where it tends to take its toll is as later in the game, being a full-time professional kicks in. You know what I mean? And we saw that play out.
Yeah, but
we saw that play out.
So that's my point. They went up against a League One side, and for the first 40 minutes before fitness became a big factor, they were actually neck and neck. That's slightly worrying if you're a Salford fan. And for that reason, I think I like Salford. I think they're always entertaining. They're full of great, exciting players. But I think looking at the Saints team, I'm going to see a big Saints win in this first game.
Big Saints win?
Yeah, I think Saints are going to lay a marker down.
Right, well, I'm going against you. I'm going Salford win.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going Salford win, and I'm going to call the demise of Paul Wellens right from the start of the season. So
that's usually my job. I put the curse on the coaches. What did I call 3 last year at the start of the season?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, they just unpicked bit by bit. Right, okay. So you're going Saints. I'm going Salford. Right, moving on. We're going to move on Sunday. One game on Sunday kicks off at 3:00. Huddersfield Giants versus Warrington Wolves.
This is a very easy one to call. Warrington have stabilised their team. They've put a couple of players on long-term contracts. Brought in Dan Russell and 1 or 2 others. Burgess, he knows what he's doing with his team now. I think he's just going to keep building bit by bit. Huddersfield have lost loads of players. They've gone into the market and just tried to get whoever. They haven't got the money. They don't look like Luke Robinson's been given the money to build a strong squad. It's going to be an easy game. Warrington are going to win. There'll be 20 points in this one.
It is the battle of the brothers, though, isn't it? You've got Tom Burgess versus Sam Burgess, and they did make a bit of a play of it, like on at the Super League launch, didn't they? So I don't think it's going to have too much of an issue.
They tried. They tried, but come on. Interesting. The one thing I did take away from that is Sam did say, we did try and get him at Warrington. I don't know if you noticed that. It's a bit of a slip of the tongue. So, yeah, obviously Warrington wanted get his younger brother over there. But no, I think Huddersfield are going to struggle this year. I think they need to carry on recruiting. I don't think that squad's strong enough. Warrington win, 20 points.
Yeah, best of luck to Luke Robinson in his first full season as head coach. But I've got Warrington to win as well, and relatively comfortable. I think it's going to be a masterclass in Warrington skill, style, and strength, and they're going to be too much for Huddersfield there. So, okay, it's time now to check in with our friendly tipster, the Sniper. How's it going?
Very good. Great to be back.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a while, hasn't it, since we last spoke. We've been very busy. Rugby League world is rolling, though, and Super League's back this weekend, so we can't wait. How are you feeling about it?
It's great. It's awesome to be back. We can't wait. We're all systems go, and we've got games left, right, and centre at the moment, so very exciting time of the season.
Yeah, and early indications that, I mean, last year, the clubs were so evenly matched, it was hard to call. But this year, early indications are that some of the teams are not going to be performing quite as well as we thought.
Well, it's early days. So we had some indications from the Challenge Cup this weekend, and I don't know. My prediction earlier in the season about Catalan making the top 6 potentially comfortably, I'm not so sure about that anymore. So, yeah, we're going to be downgrading them.
Yeah,
I've got a quick question, actually. A little birdie told me that we might have an outsider going to Vegas. Is that actually true?
Not yet.
There's a very, very good chance.
There's a chance, yeah. We're waiting to sort of couple of things out. So to be announced, I think. To be announced.
Okay. Well, will that outsider need a Heathrow injection? Is the other question.
He's already had one. He's already had a Heathrow injection. Leeds Bradford injection.
Okay, cool. So if he does go, is he going to recreate scenes from the film The Hangover? So something about a stag do, a shotgun, an Elvis wedding.
No. We need the Tyson tattoo.
Yeah. A blonde, a jacuzzi. No.
Yeah. Well, we may lose him. We may lose him if he goes out there, because he has. Do you know? I'll tell you now. He has a history of going rogue. Like, you know, he will disappear on a night out and just go rogue. So, in Vegas, I mean, it's all set up for that to happen, isn't it? So, anything can happen. Anything could happen.
We'll see.
Karl, does your missus watch the show?
No, not really. It makes her cringe, to be honest with you.
She may get anonymously sent this clip, though.
Because now she's on red alert, probably, isn't she?
Yeah.
We've lost Karl. Man down.
Oh, no, there he is up there on the stage with Elvis.
I thought he was Elvis.
Yeah, you see his dress sense. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it's a very, very, very good... We're pulling out all the stops to get Karl there. We see it as like a huge moment in rugby league history, and we need someone there. So, yeah, we're working hard to make it happen.
That'd be awesome.
Are you going?
Perfect. No. We're just in the secret nuclear bunker here, beavering away with all these odds and make sure the bets are winning, you know.
I can imagine it now. Screens everywhere. Stroking a little white fluffy cat in your chair.
I do have a cat, actually. Yeah. Very good, pal. Like a Bond villain.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Shall we look at these try-score odds then?
Yeah, let's do it. Exciting to hear what picks you've made.
Okay. Because the original pick was Micah Sevo back in November. Mm. But he's gone down. Yeah. So we're going to have to scratch that, which is a massive shame. Okay, so we'll go through the top of the market first, guys. We've got Liam Marshall from Wigan, 13-2. We've got Matty Ashton, 7-1-ish. We've got Abbas Miski from Wigan, 8-1. Felt, 8-1. Makinson, 10-1. French, 10-1. Ash Hanley, 12s. Matt Duffy, 14s. David Armstrong, 14s. Nick Chotrich, 16s. He did well for Catalan, actually. He was one of the better players in the Challenge Cup game. Tom Johnston from Wakey, 16s. And that's probably about it. Adam Swift at a push, 18s. That's probably about it. Now, if we look at what's happened recently with the top try scorer, we had Liam Marshall, top try scorer last year with 27. The year before, we had Tom Johnston and Abbas Miski, joint top try scorer on 27 as well. And the year before that, we had Bevan French at 31 try scored. I think the recent high is Greg Eden, 38 tries from a few years back. So looking at this list, the weird thing is, it's very, very difficult for a try scorer to retain it and win it 2 years in a row. So for that reason, despite Liam Marshall being a gun and Wigan being the best team, I'm putting a line through him, so we won't be having him.
Right. Okay.
The ones that are of interest to me are Matty Ashton, right up there. He's taken his game to another level. He's now, going to be probably the main man for England. He scored for England. He had some awesome stats over the course of last year, especially towards the end of the season. He scored 21 tries. He scored 1 try in each of his last 9 games, 17 in his last 20. That is the dominant edge for Wire.
Yeah,
they've got a soft opening to the season, and he looks like he's going up a notch. Yeah, he's changed gear, this guy.
Me and Craig spoke just before we came on here, and Craig asked me, he said, who do you think's going to be top try scorer this year? And Matty Ashton was the guy I picked out. I think, he's having a... I think he's that sort of golden part of his career. Next couple of years, I think Matty Ashton's going to be unstoppable. I think he's going to be incredible this year.
He's taking the sort of carries that he wasn't taking before as well. He's taking those tough carries for yardage now, and I think his game is so much more well-rounded now. So with Wire potentially having another improved season this year, he's got to be up there for me. So he's definitely on the shortlist.
Yeah, my thing with Matty Ashton is he just seems to have matured as a player far, far quicker than most other players.
Yeah.
Like, I remember him making his debut and thinking, wow, he's electric. But lots of players make a debut and you think, oh, they've got potential, but then it might take 2 or 3 seasons for them to mature and to become a well-rounded player. He looks like, under the tutelage of Sam Burgess, to have matured so quick into a fully rounded international level player in really short time, and has therefore got a massive career ahead of him. And he's definitely got to be on anyone's tip sheet for top try scorer.
Yeah, he'll be scoring loads this season, so we'll be on him regularly. And the bookies are very, very cautious about him as well. So hot one, potentially my favourite. I'd probably say he is my favourite. You're not going to get rich backing him though, because he's only 6 or 7 to 1, depending on where you shop around.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's look at someone else. Potential smoky Adam Swift. He scored 10 tries in 11 Super League matches last year. If he gets good ball, he could be a smoky. He's slightly longer odds. He's about, what did we say, he was 18 to 1. You'll probably find higher if you shop around. Any views on Swift, guys?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Loads of potential, really robust, and I think he's one of those wingers that rarely suffers injuries. He's always on the pitch and always performs consistently well. So I don't think he's got like the service that I think you need as like a top try scorer for the season, but I think potentially, I mean, he's got all the attributes. If he can get the service, then who knows? Yeah.
Could we find someone potentially being signed by one of the bigger clubs and then becoming top try scorer? That would be interesting. If there was an angle, if there was a winger that had been linked with a top club but hadn't actually signed for one yet, could one of the Salford wingers be that person?
Well, I was thinking about that, like maybe not Salford, but like Josh Charnley. He's always kind of up there.
Sniper, I'll tell you one that's interest to me. I can't remember what you said the odds were on him. Joe Burgess at Hull KR. I think Hull KR are going to
12 to 1.
Hull KR are going to go up another level this year. Their side has strengthened even more. It looks even more attacking. What do you think about him as being a bit of an outside bet?
I'm not that hot on him. I can see your point about Hull KR. I'm just not sure if they're going to spread the ball wide enough to him. We watched enough of him last season. He was okay. He's not one in the notebook particularly, because I think there are 2 other serious candidates that we haven't got to yet. So it wouldn't be for me, potentially. And I can see your point about Hull KR. They may even win, the league themselves. I don't know what you call it. It's not the minor premiership. What do you call it in the Super League?
League leadership.
League leaders, yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. So I could see them winning that.
Who's the guy, Armstrong, that you mentioned? At the Super League launch, we went to the Super League launch last week, and they made, like, Brian Carney made a big thing about this guy potentially being the fastest player in Super League. Right, and he kind of played it down. It's very modest. But, I mean, he is built like an absolute Japanese racing snake. There is nothing on him. He's so... you're not even sure he's a rugby league player. He's that small. He's got to be rapid. Otherwise, you just wouldn't survive in elite sport, like this, at that size. So is there a possibility that he's a bit of an outsider and takes that top try scoring position?
I don't think he'll do it in his first season. He is electric. We couldn't believe that Newcastle let him go. He's a serious gun, that player, and he'll score a lot of tries. I'd want to see him bed in for his first season, because I still think there's a couple of people ahead of him. It's not going to be, groundbreaking in terms of odds, but you've got to look at Bevan French. I mean, had he not been injured for 4 to 6 weeks? Was it 2 months or so last season?
Yeah, he'd have been up there again, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he could have well been up there again. So he's got to be a serious candidate. I think he'll go up another level this year. And then the other guy is Karl. So this guy is one of the best finishers in the NRL. He's now at St Helens. He's going to have Tristan Saylor playing inside him. He ought to be getting good ball. He only needs one blade of grass to score. But the overriding question is what's going to be happening at Saints. And we spoke about this earlier. So if I had to, those are the top 3 front runners for me. French, Felt, and Matty Ashton. Gun to a head, who do I take? probably Matty Ashton, because I have a feeling French might get injured, and I don't really trust St. Helens.
Yeah.
So those are the three. Probably Matty Ashton, number one for me.
Yeah, no, I think you make lots of great points there, and a real strong candidate. I would love like that outsider to come through and take it though. I also love the idea of like Tom Johnson at Wakefield, perhaps taking the league, the top try scorer's position, but I haven't seen enough of them to kind of make a decision on that.
Wakey have been really good up until now. I think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to struggle at all this year.
No.
They're going to be up there. So I mean, at the moment, based on current form, you've got to think Huddersfield are going to struggle, despite what they did yesterday. You'd hope that Cas get it together sooner rather than later, and that there isn't chat about them being in the bottom three. I've got Huddersfield nailed on bottom three. So
I completely agree with you.
It's going to be a long, hard season for them.
Yeah, I agree. Huddersfield need to carry on strengthening that squad. At the minute, it's I feel sorry for Luke Robinson, to be honest with you. I don't think I think they're going to be right down that bottom end of the table.
Good stuff, guys.
Brilliant. Yeah. Great.
Cheers, Sniper, for checking in with the top try scorer odds. Sniper, if Rugby League Outsiders fans want to subscribe to your betting service, where can they find you?
Our main account is on Twitter, and it's at Snipers Club NRL. We're also on other social media as well. So if you Google Snipers Club Rugby League, you'll find us. Please also, guys, don't forget to give Rugby League Outsiders a follow and a subscribe on YouTube, because it really helps the show make things even better, and for us to be able to get you even better content and make it the only place to be for rugby league. So give the guys a follow, guys, and looking forward to some news about Vegas.
Yeah, brilliant.
We'll see.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Have a good one,
Take
guys.
Care.
See you later, mate.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Right, as always, if you've got any benefit or value from this video, make sure you like, comment, but more importantly, subscribe. Our subscribers are climbing all along, and it's just the best way of letting us know that what we're producing is quality and you're enjoying it. We have got a whole host of other stuff that we got planned for this season. Karl, what can you talk about?
Our weekly news show, The Set 6, where we bring stories from all over rugby league, so from outside the heartlands, a bit of Super League, a little bit of NRL we're going to throw in this year as well. The predictions video is going to be every week. We've got some extended interviews. I've got loads of people lined up for extended interviews. We've just got to get them done. And who knows what else.
Yeah, and you're also looking at a championship prediction video.
Yes,
for this year. So that's going to be dropping probably later on this week, I would have thought.
Yeah, first time we've done it. We've got Mark Austin coming back in, who is a lifelong Widnes fan, knows his championship inside out. He's going to come along. We're going to dive through the teams and see where we get with that, yeah. So championship's going to be an exciting season this year.
Yeah, and to everyone that does watch, whether you're new or whether you've been with us right from the start, we've seen a huge amount of growth off-season, and we're looking to do that, to grow even more in this coming season. And we just want to throw out a big thank you to everybody that has supported us and has sent nice comments and critiques, because feedback is the breakfast of champions, and we want to be the best that we can. So keep them comments coming through. It's becoming a bit of a no man's land in the comments area at times on some videos, as we polarise this debates and stuff like that. But this is what we're here for. Okay, so until the next video, take care.